I sit on my comfortable couch before you today with shocking evidence of the most audacious theft ever committed against the people of this country. The number is so staggering, so mind-blowing, that you might actually think the Don is exaggerating, which he never does. In fact, I have the cold hard facts that will make your blood boil and your wallet weep. 1.86 trillion rand. That's not fake news, that is not a typo. That is the obscene amount of money that SARS, the ANC's personal collection agency, has just vacuumed out of your pockets, your bank accounts, your businesses, and your future. Think about that number for a moment. 1.86 trillion rand. That's more money than most countries' entire GDP. That's enough money to buy every single house in Sandton twice over. That's enough money to end load shedding, fix every pothole, and still have change left over to buy Jacob Zuma a decent legal team and a swimming pool. But where did this money go? Into the same black hole that swallowed VBS bank funds, state capture billions, and your faith in government competence. While you're sitting there struggling to put petrol in your car, while you're choosing between electricity and groceries and water, while you're watching your purchasing power evaporate faster than the water in the Cape drought, the ANC has been picking your pockets clean. Let's call SARS what it really is: the most efficient criminal organization in South African recent history. They make the mafias look like amateurs. At least when Tony Soprano took your money, he had the decency to threaten you with a baseball bat. SARS threatens you with jail time, asset seizure, and financial ruin, all while wearing suits and calling it patriotic duty. They've turned tax collection into an art form of intimidation. Provisional tax, income tax, VAT, capital gains tax, estate duty, transfer duty. They've got more ways to fleece and finesse you than a Joburg hijacker has escape routes. And just like those hijackers, they will take everything you have worked for and leave you stranded on the side of the road. But here's the beautiful irony. While SARS is terrorizing small businesses and individual taxpayers for every last cent, the real criminals, the state capturers, the tender fraudsters, the cadre deployment beneficiaries, are living in mansions in Dubai, laughing at the very system that is squeezing honest, tax-paying South Africans dry. So where exactly did your 1.86 trillion rand disappear to? Let me paint you a picture of the greatest money laundering operation disguised as public spending. First stop, the Cadre Express. Billions funneled into inflated salaries for incompetent appointments. You ever wonder why a municipal manager in a town with 3 traffic lights earns more than a brain surgeon? Your tax money bought that luxury. Second stop, the tender fraud supermarket, the more common one and more infamous one, where 100 million rand gets you half a school built by the mayor's cousin's construction company, using materials that fall apart faster than Kanye Mbao's relationships and the ANC's election promises. Third stop, the corruption car wash, where your hard-earned rands get cleaned, scrubbed, and redistributed to Swiss bank accounts, Dubai properties, and most importantly, mysteriously expensive consulting fees paid to companies that only exist on paper. And then that's literally as far as it goes. Final destination, the black hole of government inefficiency, where trillions go to die, creating nothing, building nothing, improving nothing, except the bank balances of the connected comrades. But let's talk about who is really paying for this trillion rand theft. It's not the unemployed. They can't pay what they don't have. It's not the ultra wealthy either. They have offshore accounts and tax lawyers. They probably pay less tax than anyone else in this country. It's not the politically connected, because they're the ones doing the stealing. So who is it? It's you, the middle class, the small business owner, the professional trying to make an honest living, the person who's not complaining because white bread is 22 rand, the person who can't afford to flee to Australia but makes too much to qualify for government handouts. You're the ATM that never runs out of cash, because SARS has the PIN code to all your bank accounts. You work overtime to afford private healthcare because public hospitals are literal death traps. You're safer not going there than going there. You pay for private security because the police are useless. You're the one who sends your kids to private schools because public education is a bigger joke than Trevor Noah's. And then, on top of all of that, you pay taxes to fund the very government services that don't work. It's like paying protection money to the gang that's already robbed your house. The heck are you giving them money for? And how on earth does SARS collect this blood money? Through fear, intimidation, and bureaucratic terrorism that would make the Stasi proud. They've created a system where you are the one who's guilty until proven innocent, where every single transaction is monitored, where one mistake on your tax return can destroy your entire life. They've turned every single South African into a potential criminal. Oh, forgot to declare that 50 rand cash gift from your grandmother? Criminal. Made an honest mistake on your provisional tax? Criminal. They'll take you straight to court. Sold your car and forgot about capital gains? You're practically Pablo Escobar. Meanwhile, the real criminals, the ones looting billions from state-owned enterprises, get golden handshakes, a pat on the head from Cyril Ramaphosa, and diplomatic immunity. But heaven forbid you're late with your pay submission. Then suddenly, SARS transforms into the most efficient law enforcement agency in this country, even more than the Hawks. This 1.86 trillion rand represents something more sinister than mere government overreach. It's economic slavery with extra steps. They've created a system where working harder means paying more, where success is punished, where entrepreneurship itself is treated like a crime against the state, hence why it is so not motivated. You wake up at 5 a.m., work 12-hour days, build a business, create jobs for people, contribute to the economy, and for what? So that 40% of everything you earn can fund the lifestyle of cadres who've never created a single job in their lives if their lives depended on it, never built anything, never contributed anything except their loyalty to the given parties that give them all that money. It's a system designed to keep you running on the hamster wheel forever. That's why our students keep running away from here. Work harder, pay more tax. Earn more, higher tax bracket. Save for retirement, capital gains tax. Die, estate duty. They've literally figured out how to tax you into the grave and beyond. But here's what they don't want you to know. This 1.86 trillion rand theft is only possible because you and I allow it. Every rand they stole was taken with our implicit consent, collected through a system we pretend is legitimate because they wrote some laws saying it was okay. But now, theft is theft. Tell me if I'm telling lies, whether it's done by a hijacker with a gun or a government with a court order. The only difference is that the hijacker is more honest about his intentions. He makes you know why he's there. The government, we've been conditioned to accept this robbery as normal, to feel guilty for wanting to keep the money we've earned, and to thank them for the privilege of being fleeced and finessed. But we need taxes for public services. The public services that don't even exist, while those same services crumble around us, you mean. Roads full of potholes, hospitals without medicines, schools that are behind and without textbooks, police stations without fuel and enough firearms, power stations that don't generate power. You want me to go on? I thought so. But hey, at least the ministers have new BMWs. So here's the million rand question, pun intended. Or should I say, the 1.86 trillion rand question. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep playing along with this charade? Are you going to keep pretending that handing over 40% of your income to fund corruption and incompetence is somehow patriotic? Keep believing that if you just pay a little more tax, maybe, just maybe this time they'll actually fix something. Just keep believing. Keep believing. Trust me, I wanna see how far that goes. Or are you going to wake up to the reality that you're funding your own oppression, paying for the rope they're using to hang your economic future? The ANC has spent literally 30 years perfecting the art of separating you from your money while convicting you it's for your own good. They've created the perfect crime, stealing everything while making you feel guilty for complaining about it.